Hello everyone. I'm level 36 and welcome back to Stationeers. In today's episode, we're continuing to work on our base. Last time, I believe we got some gas filtering set up. Oh geez, it's becoming daytime again. Well, it's a good thing I'm out here actually, because I gotta fix some solar panels. We had a ash storm last night, so these things are a little bit broken. But today we're going to continue working on the boring mission of making sure we don't run out of power. I'm kind of tired of dealing with power issues and reading some of the comments. Y'all had some suggestions that I actually build that Stirling engine that I made a while ago. I don't have my large waste tank, do I? You're gonna have to make another one of those. Alright, let's quickly finish patching these up before I run out of waste tank and damage my lungs. Be great. Come on. But yeah, I was reading, and apparently I'm in the Vulcan winter, I guess, which means the days are shorter but hotter. Jeez, I'm gonna run out of time here. Or they should make some heavy solar panels soon, so I don't have to do this. Alright, I'm gonna run out of duct tape, too. Let's just do this one other one, and then we'll come back and do the rest here in a second once we swap out our waste tank. Okay, I gotta go. I don't want to have busted up lungs. Ah. Well, so much for that. Run inside. 3. Boop.
Temperature high.
And I burned my lungs. Dang it. We need to make a cryo chamber to fix that. Yeah, that's a pain in the neck. Well, that symbol's going to be up there for a while. I don't exactly have cryo chamber gas cooling capacity yet. Although it would be a good excuse to make a cryo cooler. I don't think I quite have those resources just yet. Well, anyway, let's actually just check in on how we're doing. We have got some O2 stored up there. Our fuel's doing all right. Our water processing, we could definitely use some more water. So let's actually just grab some O2. Swap that there. That should start making some more fuel once we start using some, because it said it's kind of happy pressure right now. Let's turn you on, open you up, get some nice hot H2O going here. That's getting processed. Let's check my filter statuses. They're doing all right. The littlest amount of O2 that we're recollecting. This is some really hot gas that comes out of this thing. Warming up our cooling line, but that's all right. That's what it's for. Eventually we'll use up all the CO2 that got mixed in there by accident. All right. Well, while it is daytime, I got a couple other comments that I did actually read. I can't get back there anymore, can I? Oh, I can. Where is my laptop? Here it is. So this, I think, is still on the furnace code. So I think what I need is the S light. Yeah. So I named I was like, why is my status light not working? It's because I named it wrong. It's not an LED. I mean, it is, because I think the light type is actually LED, but this is supposed to be S light. There we go. And now that will work and show the status of the furnace system. How much? We've got another 100 moles of gaseous H2O about. It'll double what we have in the storage right now, although we never actually like get this completely depressurized. So we'll get this up to a little bit more. Nice cool water. That's vacuuming that out. Some more pressure in there now. We do also have to set up the thing where the CO2 gets auto-added back into our O2 farm. It looks like the sun's starting to go down already, so we can get outside and start working here soon. Come on. Alright, let's cut that out. Let it process through whatever's left in the tube.
Hydration critical.
And there we go. Turn that off. This can process through whatever's left, and we'll be all good. Alright, it is nice and cool outside. Let's print up some more duct tape so we can finish fixing our solar array and get going on some Stirling engine work. How's the gas composition in here doing? Yeah, we need some more CO2. Why is it only growing moderately well? Is the pressure too low? Gas mix should be correct. It's not telling me that it's not the right gas pressure. Odd. Alright. Head outside and start working on the Stirling engine. So the Stirling engine, the way that it works is you need a canister with a specific amount of gas in it so that it doesn't explode. Oops, I left that on. Was in a bit of a rush, to be fair. And it essentially functions off of the difference in temperature. So if we go over to our cooling system, let's also kind of just check and see how this is all doing. Oh yeah, we used a lot of our liquid up. This is all cooling down again though. Is this all running? Do we have this on right now? We do. So it's... Oh yeah, we're building up a decent amount of pressure. We're almost good on volatiles. Honestly, we have a lot of both of these. We could probably do with a little bit more pollutant stored up. Turn that on. And we can cut that off so that we can kind of conserve our cooling energy a little bit. We ever add the pressure relief to this line? I don't think we ever did. This is the only one that's not protected. Is that why I still have this stuff in my inventory? It is. Yeah, let's do that. While we're here, might as well do the smart thing and fix that little oversight. We need a pressure regulator, and we want this to be a back pressure regulator, and then a pipe cowl. Some wires. Now, labeler, set you to, let's just say 30 MPa, or actually no, at this temperature, since we're targeting like 20 Celsius. Really? Only 3 MPa? Well, I guess that's fair. All right. Should be protected now. Realistically, any liquid should get filtered back in, but I don't want to just be, like, using power to loop this forever. We'll let that run for a minute while we do this. So the goal is to get about 60 moles of volatiles is what we want into our canister here. So in this pipe right here is 90 moles. So let's just see if we turn that off. We put this in here. We get like 70 moles. 70 moles should be acceptable. So the reason why we need to be a little bit careful is that essentially if the temperature or the pressure differential, so I should just build the Stirling engine so I can actually talk about this stuff in terms of it being in the world and we can actually see it. Where would be a good spot? Probably over here. And we need some more. These are steel frames, I think, so we need some more steel frames. Don't think... Oh, I was going to do this. Well, we'll do the solar panels in a second. Steel. I know I have some steel in the pile over here. Turn you off. Let's conserve power where we can. So I've never built the Stirling engine before because it's not that effective on Mars. But it is pretty good here for this nighttime power because it uses temperature differential. So we can use the difference between the daytime and the nighttime temperature to generate power. And it should realistically probably give us about 1.8 I think it was megawatts of power. That might be a little high. It might be kilowatts. I don't remember. But anyway, this canister having 69.8 moles in it should be okay. Hopefully. I think it said up to 70 is generally safe. But if it's too... If the temperature or the pressure differential between the inside and the outside gets too high, it'll explode. So we don't want that, obviously. That's also why we're going to put this a little bit further away from the base so that we don't have any explosions on our hands. Also, how much heavy coil do we have? Not enough. We're going to make some steel sheets. So I'm sure we're going to need a lot of those. Grab some gold. Grab some more gold. Grab our copper. Grab whatever other copper we have. Heavy cable coil. Not the super heavy cable coil. We shouldn't need that much power. Or we're not generating that much power that you're going to need super heavy stuff quite yet. What else do we have that I'm probably going to need? Do we have any transformers? We have one. I'm probably going to want a battery. Oh, there's some more heavy coil here. Okay, good. We're still going to need more, but we have a little bit more. We're also going to need to restock on regular cable coil again. I have a lot of duct tape laying around. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's a lot of iron sheets. Or steel sheets, but we're probably going to need a lot of steel sheets. Let's take a look at the Stirling engine. If I can spell it. There we go. What do we actually need to build this? Steel sheets and electronics parts. All right, good to know. You out of steel? A little bit more. Be enough of that. Let's make some electronics parts. What did it say? 5 or 2? Need some iron. That's probably enough. I need to really actually build that stacker. No, I have some iron over here. There we go. One and 2. There we go. All right. Otherwise, we're gonna want probably gonna want another big active vent. What did that require? Power vent, steel, electrum, and invar. Put some stuff away. We don't need a, well, we might need a pressure regulator. We're not going to need a volume pump. Probably not going to get that. Definitely not going to get that. Valves might be helpful. Do we have other cowls anywhere? Nope. Alright, that can go away. You can go back in my tool belt. Not going to need liquid pipes. We're going to need regular pipes. We have the tank up there, Stirling engine. Stack up the valves. No need for heat exchanger right now. Alright. Steel. Electrum. Invar. Do we have more Invar? Yeah, we do. So, powered vents. Need more electronics parts. And we'll need some plastic sheets, which I probably don't have any of right now. Actually make another tank. Need copper. Tank. And then I actually want to see if we can make a big battery. We should be able to. Gold. Copper. Invar. Whatever that is. Let's just stick all this stuff in here. Stellite is the only other thing we need, which I do have, so we can upgrade our battery situation too, which is probably going to be also helpful. This takes a lot of energy. While we're waiting for the very brief days that we have right now. The nice thing is even though they're brief, they're very hot, so this Stirling engine should actually work pretty well. These take forever to make. While we're doing this, let's also check on our O2 and waste tank. Put everything in here so we can consolidate our ingots a little bit. Have less stuff sitting around on the floor. And we should grab our transformer. So we are going to want to put this somewhere away in case it does explode. I guess we could technically put it down on the already exploded platform. We could clean up the rest of that stuff and use that, because it shouldn't affect, if it does explode, it shouldn't affect that. We already have power leading down there. Actually might not be a half bad idea. Alright, we'll just start with one battery. Let's see how it goes. Although we should probably swap the ones up there too for better batteries, but actually we definitely should. They're all full. Alright, we'll make another one. Well, we've got the power to do it. Let's see. What's this doing? We're getting some more water. This is probably cooling. Yeah. Getting this nice and cold. Very good. Very cool. Pretty awesome. It would probably help out a lot is if we increased the pressure in this vessel. If we just like dumped a bunch of nitrogen in here. In fact, am I gonna regret this? Hope not. Don't think so. It shouldn't cause any issues. Yeah, that increased the condensation rate massively. Yep, we're getting some more water. Cool. Well, that's good. Oh, yeah, that's a pain. I forgot about that. We might have to reconfigure this. The reason why the water is not coming out of here is because we have to connect it to this liquid output. So if we... we don't really have enough space. Well, we can come up and then back down. That'll work. We should honestly do the same to this one so that we can get a bunch of pressure dumped into it, and it'll be nice and good. And this thing's still making. Come on. 100%. Another battery. Where did I put it? Where did I put it? There. Oh, they don't stack. Never mind. Alright. Sun's going down. It's getting nice and cool. Let's go out and work on this. Alright. First and foremost, fix the stuff we already have. Let's finish fixing our solar panels. Those are good. Those are good. Just in case we get another dust storm, I don't want to end up with broken solar panels. Although it would be as good an excuse as any to actually start replacing them with the ones that I know I should use. Alright, that's all of them fixed. Good. Arm. Pick this right. What do you need to finish this off? Welding torch and steel sheets. Probably gonna need more electronics components in the end. Yep. And I forgot my heavy cable coils. Whoops. We were ready for this. I'm good at games. I think another 4 or another 4. That's what we need. Like, luckily these are a lot faster. All right. Heavy cable coils, wire cutters. That should give us some more power capacity for sure. All right, and then if we go down here, let's start tearing apart all of this broken stuff so we can clear up the space to use it for less broken stuff. Whoops. Well, we'll find that eventually. Well, let's save what we can, I guess. There's no use in getting... No need to let this stuff go completely to waste. Even if it did just completely explode when I was a big dumb and didn't pay attention to the pressure of a canister. Both of my pitfalls in this game have come at the hands of small gas canisters. Luckily in Mars, the Mars run, it didn't kill me, but did in this one. What's that noise? Boom. But we're getting some new insulated pipe, or not new, reusable insulated pipe out of it, so that's good, I guess. Whoops. What else? Gotta go. This all's gotta go. We may want to end up feeding all of this stuff to the recycler, because some of it is probably damaged. Not that that's, like, completely unworkable, but it might end up being to our advantage. Those just disappear. What do I need? Hand drill. Oh, that still had pressure in it. I'm running out of space. So we can technically put that there. It's funny. Goodbye. You were damaged anyway, so I don't really care. Alright. Regular cable coil. Stack up what we can. Grab our cutters. Deconstruct all this stuff.
Hydration critical.
All right. Weld up the floor so that we can walk again. And then we can start building our Stirling engine. So let's see how this thing actually looks. So we've got input, output, power, and logic. So we're going to build this right here because I want it to be a little bit further away. Let's actually, thinking about it, let's be a little bit even further away. We're going to build it right here. This way, when I inevitably mess this up and it explodes, it'll be just far enough away that maybe it won't take out all of its support equipment. You're gonna want to construct that. Electronic parts, and there it goes. So, if we take our canister and stick it in there, it has a working gas canister. So input, output, we're gonna need a vent or a pipe gal. So we're gonna need our power vent with the big one this time. I'm gonna put this right here. Steel sheets, nope. Oh, I need plastic sheets for this. Ooh. I don't have plastic sheets. Well, let's continue building and then we can figure that out later. For the tanks, we're going to hang these off the edge again, because that worked fairly well last time. One there. And why not one right there? So these are regular tanks, because honestly, we really don't care about the temperature leaching into them. We actually want it. And then we're going to use regular pipes too, because they're cheaper. So that's going to be the extra volume tank, because I don't know if we actually want that much volume or not. We're going to have to see how this goes. Which one's the input? Input's on the back. And we're out of regular pipes. So let's just use some insulated stuff because that's what we've got. temperature's coming up a little bit, so we'll have to stop for a minute while we rather than cower back inside. But not before we kind of finish getting this set up a little bit. We're going to make a little bit of an exhaust stack, just so we're not reheating the area that this is in. There we go. Alright, let's head inside. Grab some water, make that guy happy, grab a pipe cowl. Alright, how's that battery doing? It should be charging now. Need some logic parts as well.
Low pressure. Oxygen critical.
More baked potato. More water. How's the... Yeah, we really need to work on this. Let's, grab some CO2, I guess. I think I still have some in here, so... which one's my CO2 tank? Yep, this one is it. Not a huge amount of CO2, but enough to bring the pressure or the percentage up just enough to make everyone happy. Take off our suit for a second so we can help fix the hygiene. Outside tank temperature is doing okay. I don't know if we ever actually opened that up to the, what's it called? Now I can't think. Oh, the cooling system. Burns are doing well and producing quite a bit of oxygen, realistically. I did actually empty this tank out so that we can, in the event of emergency, just vacuum this whole room down into this tank. So for the Stirling engine, we're also going to need some logic components, because obviously if it's the daytime when this is filling, similarly to how we fill the other tank at the night time, we're going to want to not be outside to run that system. So we're going to need a gas sensor. We're probably going to want a... what do we already have? Logic I/O. We're going to need a memory cell again. We'll need a... what else do we actually need? So we'll need the memory cell, gas sensor, logic reader, logic writer, logic compare. So that is like 5 components, I think. We'll print those up here in a second. I just want my hygiene to go up so my mood doesn't go down. There we go. Good enough. Got stuff to do. We'll build a shower eventually. I do actually have some biomass now, so I can actually filter the water. But we don't really have the internal space there. How's that power doing? Ooh, it's charging up nicely. Cool, that's good. Logic. I need another one. We might end up just using a IC for this, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Probably should. Let's just build an IC. Because this is going to be a little bit more than I want to do, because we're going to need to turn on and off the Stirling engine. We're going to need to turn on and off the why can't I think? Vent. It's probably just best that we do the IC method. Also, it's a little bit more processor efficient, I think. See, housing. And we'll need my laptop. And a gas sensor still. The pipe cow. Almost forgot the pipe cows. We can technically start programming while we're waiting for the sun to go down. Boop. Edit. Clear. Actually, let's quickly make a gas or sensor. You also actually need a digital valve. Or no, we don't need a valve. We can just turn it on and off, I think. Should be fine. Alright. Let's hop in here. Clear this. We're going to alias D0 self or self to D0 alias let me the Stirling engine to D1 alias vent D2 alias gas 3 should be all we need. We are going to define or actually let's do a dial for this. Alias temp dial. Oh, we can't have an underscore. D4. So we're gonna do main setup. In setup, we're going to set temp dial. What's the dial's logic? We're gonna set the mode, I think. Yeah, I think it's the mode. Set the mode to, let's do 1,500. Going to set the setting. So that'll be Celsius. And the like 600K to Celsius. If we just look at our ingots real quick of like steel. So 900 Kelvin is 627, which is about the daytime like hot temperature. So we're going to set the temp dial setting to, let's just start with 900. Actually, let's do 850 as our default. We're going to alias R10 or alias as temp setting as R10. I get dial val. This is going to be load into temp setting. Our temp dial setting outside temp load into, let's actually make another register for this. Alias out temp as R11 to out temp gas sensor. We want the temperature. And then what we want to do, might actually need 2 dials. Let's, before we get too far into this, let's see what, it's nighttime, so let's go finish building and then we can get back to that. Okay, that's set up. I forgot plastic sheets again. Dang it. Can't do much more without the actual stuff we need. We need silicone, so we're gonna have to dump this. Plastic sheets. Welding torch. Alright, now we actually have our vent. We need power, and we need our big battery set up as well, so... we're gonna put this right here. Actually, I don't like where that is. Need a wrench, apparently. Sometimes the stuff required to tear stuff apart doesn't always make the most sense. There we go. Transformer. This is going to be our power feed. And then some heavy coil. Dang it. I think I need to use heavy cable coil for all of this stuff because the Stirling engine is going to be on this network. Let's do 2 kilowatts. So now, if we turn you on, we immediately get pressure. We don't actually want this though, because this is cold night air pressure, temperature. Wait, I had volatiles in that. There is volatiles in it. Why am I descending? Let me build the stupid... Am I out of propellant? So that's what's going on or something? Yeah, we're generating next to nothing, but that's okay. So we don't really have a temperature differential right now. So I guess we don't actually need this to be on the same network because this doesn't require power to function. So this just goes straight to our battery. It does not need to connect to everything else. That way we don't have a short. Then we can recover our heavy cable coil that we don't require and just use regular coil. I want to... So the reason why I have this, so the pressure in here was so essential, is because if, wow, it's at 0 now. That's kind of odd. If the pressure differential between the inside of this and the outside of this ever gets above 11 megapascals, this thing go boom. Also why I have it so far down this sorry, down this platform is because if it does, I don't want it to wipe out everything over here. Oh, I'm just dying a little bit. Got something caught in my throat. Oh, all right, that's better. And then we'll just put this right here and put this right here, and we'll put our IC housing somewhere, which I definitely picked up and didn't forget somewhere. No, it's right there. Okay. We're going to just use a compact one, so it's nice and small. Oop, there we go. Cool. Now, as the outside temperature goes up, in theory, we want this to be off when it's hot outside, because this won't work very well when it's hot. We're going to want to keep a close eye on that, but we're going to want to grab a whole bunch of nice warm daytime air. This is a flow restriction, isn't it? Which we don't necessarily want. Yeah, we're going to want to not use this valve because it's presenting a flow restriction. Okay. I stand directly on this. It's still quite hot. We want to store as much nice and very toasty gas as possible. We'll just shut that for now. It's not actually doing anything. Or we can just remove it. Okay, then. Now you should pressurize nicely. Alright, now we actually need to go inside, so we're gonna cut you off, just because I'm not gonna be here to watch it. I don't want it to explode. And we can continue writing our little program. Buff our oxygen as well. What else was I saying? It'd be nice to have. Nothing. I think I've got everything I need. So if we just drop our little laptop down again, wait for the sun to go down, which shouldn't take terribly long, and looks like the power up there is nice and charged. We're gonna do jump main. So we're getting our. Oh, we wanted another dial. That's what I was saying. We're gonna have a temp dial and a run dial. Temp setting. Let's do this as R12. I think we have 12 registers that I can use. As D or R11. Or we could just do 9, 10, and 11 just to be sure. I don't remember which one is actually the return address register, because I think once you get up to that level, you can actually overwrite your return address with a register. Temp dial mode, temp dial settings, set run dial mode, and we're gonna just set this to like, let's see, what's our lower temperatures look like. Solder is a good low temperature thing. So 277 would be 550. So let's just do like, the mode is going to be 750 max. Set run dial setting as, let's just say, what was that? 550, 500. Yeah, let's do 500. All right. Run Load into run setting file. Run dial setting. Okay, so that's the start. We're going to do all that. Then we are going to, if the temperature is above the temp dial setting, so branch we want to do something. So we're going to branch greater than. So we're just going to jump back to main. So if the temperature is greater than, so if out temp is greater than temp setting, we're going to branch to run vent. This is very similar to my other script. So we're going to return the main otherwise. So we're going to then if it's not greater than that, but it's if it's not that, we're going to turn the vent off first. So we're going to jump and return. I think that's what that is. Jump relative jump. What is it called? Branch greater JAL. Jump A. Let's store it in the return address. So JAL to stop. Honestly, we don't even need to do this. We don't need to break this out. We're going to just set vent on 0. That's one line, easy enough. Branch less than, and then we're going to what are we going to do? We're going to branch less than if out temp is less than run setting. I'm going to jump to run in. And then kind of finally, we're not going to do anything else. Or we'll just yield at the start of main because everything's jumping to main. Yield. There we go. So that's our timer. It should theoretically work. We need to just set vent on 1. Set stir on 1. Oh, yes. Otherwise, we want to set stir on 0. I think this should work.
Hydration critical.
Export. It's got code. Let's grab it. It's dark out. Oh, we need to drink some water first, but we're pretty close to hopefully having this all work. What's the rest of that baked potato? I almost lost my baked potato. Alright. Let's head out and see if we can get this to work. I forgot my other dial. This is a mess. This is also turning into a long video. Switch. There we go. Okay, now in theory, this is nice hot air. It's cooled outside, so this should run and generate power, which it is doing. We probably should dump this somewhere slightly further away. But we're generating some power. We're not putting it anywhere because I forgot to turn this on. But now that is receiving 2.9 kilowatts from this, which is good. So we have a lot of nice hot gas all stored up, ready to be used. And in theory, we could put another one right here and another one right here. And this would make us quite a bit of power for the nighttime when we're unable to use our solar engines or solar panels. Jeez. So I'm pretty happy with that. Let's see how this works. Hopefully this all works. I don't know. I'm not that smart. Let's just set up our dials. Okay. Oh yeah, our screwdriver. Let's just pop that on and off real quick so we get our... Oh, I forgot DB is self, not D0. Oh, that's fine. We're going to set this to Stirling engine. This one is going to be large powered vent. This one's going to be gas sensor. This one's going to be our first dial, which is going to be the temp dial. That's not a labeler, that's a console. Run dial. Alright, that's all that's set up. Kick you on. Kick you off. Kick you off. Because this is definitely not correct. Oh, these max out at 9. Why is this also set to 0? Ugh. I forgot that maxed out at 999. Well, this will be a little easier. We're just gonna... ignore those and just do this. And just comment these out. And we can reintroduce them at a later date if we really want to. Temp setting is going to be... Let me grab my Kelvin... to... Celsius converter. We're going to say we're going to run this below 130 Celsius, which is 403 Kelvin, and our run is going to be above 600, or let's do, we're going to grab it, yeah, 600, so that's 837, or 73, not 37. There we go. Now that's running. Let's see when it becomes day if it shuts off once it gets nice and hot. This hasn't really generated all of that much power, but also it's probably being used because, you know, we do have stuff running currently. And it is connected. I mean, 1.8 kilowatts isn't great, but it's not terrible either. And we should also put a safety on this because, you know, it is a gas system, and we've seen how poorly gas systems play nicely without safeties. And I think I have the parts for it just sitting around. Yeah, there we go. And we still have some pipe cows. Cool. Do I still have pipes in my backpack? I do. Back pressure regulator. Since we're only intaking during the day, pollutant condensation should not be that big of an issue, I suspect. Hope. Probably. It'll be fine, I'm sure. It's getting warmer, and it shut off, so our code is currently sort of working, probably. We're going to set this to 45 megapascals. And now we wait for it to get hot. Let's actually see what our ending pressure is. 3 MPa. It's not terrible. I don't know if pressure makes a huge difference to how well this thing works. I just know temperature is the biggest, like, difference maker. Yeah, pressure differential does make a difference. Alright, it should heat up pretty quickly now. So let's see. Once it gets hot, this should turn on. Ooh, wind turbines are going. So I don't know. The one thing I don't know is during a solar storm, this might get hot enough that it does actually explode. So hopefully that doesn't happen, but we'll see. Or a solar flare. Alright, it's getting pretty toasty out here. And yep, it kicked on. And we're pulling in that nice, hot gas. Also, well, we might improve this a little bit, but I think that's enough for today. The video's already far too long. Thank you all for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed. I've definitely enjoyed making this, and hopefully now we have some better, more stable power at night, because that's been kind of an issue for a while. But we cleaned up our little mess up down there, and hopefully we'll have a good use out of this area, and it doesn't just explode or something immediately. I guess we'll see. Well, anyway, thank you all for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed. I've definitely enjoyed making it. If you have enjoyed, please drop a like, a little subscribe maybe. Subscribers are growing pretty good. I'm really been happy with the momentum of the channel. It's slow growth, but I get this is kind of a niche game. So anyway, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.